All right, let's talk about making your Swift apps faster. I mean, way faster. Today, we're jumping into a really cool feature that will make your code more responsive and honestly, a lot nicer to look at. Let's get into it.
Does this look familiar to you? You've got to fetch user data, then you fetch their posts, then you grab their profile picture, and your app just waits. Step by agonizing step. All while your user is just staring at a loading spinner. It's a super common problem, but you know what? There is a much, much better way.
And that better way is called async let. Think of it as Swift's built-in, super simple solution to break out of that slow, one-thing-at-a-time trap. It's pretty elegant, actually.
So what is this thing really? Well, at its heart, async let is just you telling your code, hey, go start this work right now, and just let me know when it's done. I'll come back for the result later. You kick off a task, you tie its future result to a constant, and that's pretty much it.
This sentence right here, this is the absolute key to understanding async let. The second your code hits that line, the task begins, instantly. It doesn't wait for permission, it just goes. It runs in the background at the same time as everything else, while the rest of your code just keeps on chugging along.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like in practice? Before we even touch a line of code, let's use a really simple analogy that I think makes it all click.
Imagine you're at a coffee shop. The old, slow way is like ordering your coffee, then standing there waiting for it, and only after you get it, you order your pastry and start waiting all over again. It's just inefficient. But with async let, it's like you walk up to the counter and order your coffee and your pastry at the same time. They get made in parallel, and you just have one single wait time for both. It's just common sense, right?
And here's how that exact coffee shop logic looks in real code. On that first line, the fetch user task kicks off. Boom, it's running. Immediately, on the next line, fetch posts starts too. Now they are both running at the exact same time. We only use that await keyword way down at the bottom at the precise moment we actually need the results. That's the only place the code might pause, and only if the data isn't ready yet.
So now that we've seen how it works, let's talk about the why. Why is this such a game changer? What are the real tangible benefits you're going to see?
Well, the biggest and most obvious one is just raw performance. Instead of your total wait time being task A plus task B, now your wait time is only as long as your single longest task. This can make a huge difference, making your app feel incredibly snappy and responsive.
Second, and this is a big one for developers, the code is just so much cleaner. If you've ever dealt with older ways of doing concurrency, you know it can get messy. You're manually creating task objects, you're managing them. It's a lot of extra code. Async let gives you all that parallel power with a syntax that's simple, beautiful, and easy to read.
And finally, it's just safer. Async let is a core part of Swift's structured concurrency system. What that means is that these little tasks exist in a clear hierarchy. So, for instance, if the main function they're in gets canceled, all of its async let tasks get automatically canceled too. This is amazing because it prevents wasted work and stops a whole class of potential bugs in their tracks. It just makes your code more robust.
Okay, so you're probably sold and ready to use it everywhere. But when is the perfect time to reach for this particular tool? Let's run through a quick checklist so you can spot the perfect opportunities in your own code.
Here's the golden rule. Use async let whenever you have two or more tasks that are independent of each other. That's the key. One task doesn't need the result from the other one to get started. Think about loading a user's profile and their latest tweets from an API. Those are two separate calls, right? They can absolutely happen at the same time. That is a perfect use case.
So let's wrap up with a few key rules to keep in your back pocket. First, remember you always need to use await when you're ready to actually get the value out of that constant. Second, the system guarantees that all these little background tasks have to finish before your function can exit. It's a great safety feature. But the main takeaway, the big idea is this. For independent parallel tasks, async let is the simplest, cleanest, and most efficient tool in your Swift toolbox. Period.
So now you have this awesome new tool to build faster, more modern apps. The only question left is, what's the first thing in your app that you're going to speed up? Thanks for checking out this explainer.